Hello there, and welcome to the latest episode of the Sperrins podcast. I'm Marella Fyffe, your host, part of the Save Our Sperrins campaign team, and we're just a group of ordinary folk doing what we can to protect this beautiful place we call home from gold mining. In this podcast, I'll be sharing what's really going on, hearing from people on the ground, and keeping the story alive because it matters. Thanks very much for joining me. 10 years ago, we didn't set out to become campaigners. We didn't imagine we'd still be here a decade later, holding the line against a gold mine, but here we are. My name is Marella, and I'm part of the Save Our Sperrins team, a grassroots campaign that rose from the land itself, from worry, from love, from rage, from a fierce, stubborn belief that some places should never be mined. This episode is a personal reflection on that journey. There are other episodes in this series where I speak with fellow campaigners, people who've walked this path with me. But for this one, it's just me, telling a bit of the story from the inside. The Spark, 2015. It started quietly in 2015. Notices in the papers, whispers in the pub, a sense that something wasn't right. Dalradian Gold, a Canadian mining company, had begun prospecting in the Sperrin Mountains. They had big plans. A massive underground mine, a processing plant, and at that time, the use of cyanide. For those of us living here, it was unthinkable. This isn't just a landscape. It's our home. It's rivers and bogs, ancient stones, stories passed down, its beauty and belonging. So we came together, locals who'd never done anything like this before. We formed Save Our Sperrins. No funding, no PR firm, just a fierce love of place and a refusal to be steamrolled. The Rising Up, 2016 to 2017. 2016 was the year the community truly woke up. Hundreds of us packed into public meetings. There was outrage about cyanide and determination not to be dismissed. That summer, local football clubs rejected Dalradian's sponsorship money. We held a charity match with GAA legends to raise funds for the campaign. By 2017, Dalradian submitted their major planning application. It was vast, complex, and the fight became very real, but so did our resolve. There were marches in Dungannon, Omagh, Greencastle. We walked all the way to Stormont from Greencastle, demanding to be heard. We held candlelit vigils, poetry readings on site, songs echoing across the hills. In 2018, the Greencastle People's Office was set up, also known as the GPO. It became a kind of vigil, a place of information, resistance, tea and company. And in 2018, we celebrated a major win, a successful judicial review. That felt huge. A moment where the law, for once, was on the side of people and the place. We sent in over 18,000 letters of objection. We hosted visitors from around the world. We resisted, not just with the petitions and paperwork, but with art, song, and storytelling. In 2019, the Police Service Northern Ireland invoiced Dalradian nearly £500,000 for escorting explosives. That alone tells you something about what we were dealing with. Still, we stood our ground. The lowlights, what it cost. There were hard days, the initial granting of licences despite overwhelming opposition, poor transparency, confusing planning procedures, the sheer stress of the public inquiry process, the emotional toll of being surveilled and harassed. Some of us felt watched, others burnt out. People gave up weekends, holidays, time with families. We lost people along the way, not in life, but in energy, in overwhelm, in heartbreak. We were dismissed by officials, labelled anti-progress. We were misrepresented in the press. Sometimes we felt invisible, like no matter how loud we shouted, the system had its hands over its ears. And then, in 2025, just months ago, the inquiry collapsed, not because we weren't ready, but because the process was flawed, rushed and unjust. It was a gut punch, but it was also confirmation of what we'd been saying all along. The bigger picture, 2020 to 2022. The campaign grew beyond us. We were no longer just locals fighting a mine, farmers and wellies, you might say. We became part of something much bigger. The UN took notice. Mary Lawler, the UN Special Rapporteur on Human Rights Defenders, cited concerns about how environmental protesters were being treated in the Sperrins. Northern Ireland Human Rights Commission commissioned research into the environment and the Windsor framework. Our struggle was being seen. The toll and the triumph, 2023 to 2025. There were hard moments, burnout, feeling unheard, watching the planning process grind on and on. The inquiry that started and then collapsed in March 2025 due to its own failures. But there were triumphs too. The Salmon Song Concert in 2024, a fundraiser full of poetry, music and solidarity. The ever-rising number of objections against the planning application, at this stage reaching 50,000. Creative projects, community photos, school children drawing what they loved about the land, new people joining, old friends staying. And in April 2025, The Guardian called ours a stunningly successful environmental campaign. That meant a lot, because right now, here in 2025, there still is no mine in Greencastle. The roots and the future. When I look back on these 10 years, I think of the land first. The way the mist moves across Crockenboy Hill, the rivers we swore to protect, the songs we sang around the fire. I think of friends and neighbours becoming organisers, of grief, of grit, of persistence, of laughter around the kettle, of small, brave moments no one saw. And I think of everyone still holding the line today, because the fight isn't over. Planning delays drag on, the threat remains, but so do we. We chose the gold in the hills, the real gold. The air, the water, the soil, community, memory. We chose life. If you're listening to this and wondering what you can do, start by telling someone. Share this episode. Or visit the Save Our Sperrins website. You'll see it in the show notes below. Support the work, amplify the truth, and stay alert. We said no to gold mining in the Sperrins. We meant it, and we still do. Thank you for listening. Until next time, mind yourselves, mind the land.